What's up, it's Cinema Shogun here, and take this with a tiny grain of salt. Because it's not happening yet. However, it appears that Dog the Bounty Hunter may be joining the search for Kiely Rodni. Now, I know this is going to stir people up. I know that people will have mixed feelings about this. And I will dive into how I feel about this in just a moment. But first, let me give you all a better idea of what's going on here. Dog the Bounty Hunter is getting tips on Kiely Rodni's disappearance. However, he is reluctant to jump in. Dog the Bounty Hunter is getting a slew of tips on the disappearance of 16-year-old Kiely Rodni, the girl who vanished near the Lake Tahoe area earlier this month. But he's reluctant to do anything right now because of the blowback he got in the Gabby Petito case. Dog tells reps some of the tipsters offer vague clues, something he's used over the years to eventually develop solid leads. And he's also been getting a slew of emails from people who just want him to jump in because of his track record in finding missing people. Here's the problem, though. When cops were setting their sights on Brian Laundrie, Dog was honeymooning near the Florida home where Brian's sister lived, and he decided to jump in and help. The video of Dog knocking at the sister's door made the rounds and was heavily criticized, some claiming that he was meddling in a police investigation. It's kind of a case, Dog thinks, of no good deed going unpunished. His rep says the way he operates, he will not get involved in a missing persons investigation unless one of two things happen. Either he's invited by a family member or law enforcement to get involved, or 21 days have passed since the person was declared missing. The reason for 21 days, Dog says that's when missing persons cases typically go cold. So now, Dog is waiting for an invite or for 3 weeks to pass. He's also waiting for more solid clues on where Kiely might be. So before I even get into my thoughts, let me know how you feel about that down in the comments below. I know that people are going to have mixed feelings, just like with the Gabby Petito case. It was like split right down the middle. One half of people were just super excited that Dog the Bounty Hunter was joining, and the other half just thought that this was complete madness, the worst thing that could ever happen to an investigation. Me? How do I personally feel about this? Well, if you watched my coverage of the Gabby Petito case, then the way I felt about Dog the Bounty Hunter joining that case is the same way I feel about this one. I don't view it as a bad thing. I don't view it as a bad thing at all. When it comes to a missing persons case, I believe the more eyes on the case, the better. Regardless if you're bringing in eyes because people want to watch your TV show or people are drawn to Dog the Bounty Hunter, it doesn't matter. You're bringing more eyes to the case, which is always a good thing. Another person helping to search for someone that's missing is always a good thing. Another person asking questions can usually be a good thing. And I will make the same point now that I made back during the Gabby Petito case. A lot of people, regardless of how you feel about Dog, a lot of people feel more comfortable talking to him as opposed to law enforcement. And here we have this case with a bunch of young folks and teenagers. And I'll tell you right now, I believe some of these stoners that are out there in the woods, popping whatever with teenage girls, I believe that they would probably talk to Dog the Bounty Hunter before they do law enforcement. So in my opinion, I would like him to get involved. I would like him to go to this town, Truckee, and start asking some questions. Truckee, I'm not from there, never been there, never even heard of the place. But from what I've seen over the past, I guess, 2 weeks now, man, it's kind of a weird little area. Definitely a weird little area. A lot of the people there give me kind of weird vibes. I don't know. It seems like a smaller area where everyone kind of knows everyone in a way. I don't want to call it a small town, but it just gives those vibes. And I would imagine that there is a lot of talk going on around this area. Because people talk, just in general. But then when you have more of a closed-in, backwoods, tight-knit community, word just goes around really quick. I think that at the very least, Dog the Bounty Hunter could go out there and get some information that law enforcement hasn't gotten yet. Also, Dog's approach to how he goes into these situations, he goes into the community. He's usually accepted by the community. And people in that community usually help him find the people that he's looking for. And it's almost like he befriends people in a certain way. It's just totally different than the way law enforcement goes about the situation. Now, some people will say, oh, this is just going to turn this investigation and this whole case into a circus. Well, I would have to say, hasn't it already turned into a circus? I know it's not as crazy yet as some cases, but we're already pointing the fingers at random people who may or may not have something to do with it. You know, we already got people dead set thinking that this person did this and this person did that. We already got the wild theories going around. And now it seems like this case has taken a whole new life because of some Ronnie character. Some guy named Ronnie that called into a live stream on, I believe, Ickmel's channel. And now for some reason, people just are dead set on believing that this random guy that just called into a live stream is the mastermind behind everything and everyone's going crazy over it. I don't think Ronnie has anything to do with anything. It's already been proven that Ronnie's just some older guy with kids that used to live kind of around the area. And I think that he was just calling in to give some information, to talk and be helpful. Talking about how his cousins were at the party. And I get that if you're being nitpicky, you could pick out things like, oh, this is kind of weird and this is kind of suspect. How did he know this? Why do your cousins know this? But it's like some people are just 100% dead set that Ronnie, this random, caller into this live stream, he's behind everything. He knows everything. And in my opinion, that's kind of outrageous. Like, I've looked at everything that Ronnie had to say so far, and I don't see anything there that would make me think, oh, this guy is the mastermind behind everything. But some people, a good portion of people, are dead set on that. And everyone's just talking about this Ronnie guy. And it really seems to me like a waste of time when it comes to this case. But that's where we're at now. So if we're going to have half the people involved in this case dead set focused on some random guy that called into a live stream that doesn't even seem like he has anything to do with anything, then why can't we get Dog involved? I think getting Dog involved in this search, in this case, is way more productive than sitting here and creating theories about some random guy named Ronnie over and over again. Like, I think we need to leave the Ronnie situation alone. And I think people need to stop harassing that guy and finding everyone he follows and bothering him. He's a father, and I don't think he has anything to do with this. I could be wrong, but I'm basically almost like 100% sure this is just some guy that tried to call into a live stream. But because people are going so crazy about that, it makes me feel like it is going to discourage people in the future from coming forward and talking about these cases. We cannot attack every single person that calls into a live stream or wants to call and give us more information about these cases, because then people will never call again. So if you ask me, the case has already turned into somewhat of a circus. It's not a circus on a grand scale. It's not Circus Olay, but it's kind of like one of those random circuses that pops up in like your mall parking lot somewhere, for a day or two, a random carnival. It's like one of those. But yeah, I'm hoping that he does get involved. We're on day 13 of this search. Dog the Bounty Hunter says that if no one asks him formally to join the search, that on day 21 he may join. And by then, I mean, damn, that's 3 weeks. And I would think that whoever or whatever happened to Kiely or whoever took Kiely, they're long, long gone by now. But even if, in my opinion, the vibes that I'm getting from Truckee in this community is that even if some random person ran off with Kiely, that there would be some ties or something, some rumors, some word spreading around about what happened. And I think Dog the Bounty Hunter is the guy for that job, to get down to the nitty gritty of what are people talking about on the streets. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep your ear to the streets in these situations. And law enforcement isn't always the best at doing that. In fact, law enforcement just sends out huge red flags anytime they come near, so people kind of get scared and don't talk much. But I do think that people may let their guard down around Dog the Bounty Hunter. But let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think that this is needed? Do you think that this is a bad thing? Are you happy about Dog joining? Are you mad? There is no right or wrong answer. I just want to know how you personally feel down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up button, hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all on the next video.